Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. Government officials joined principals of Bahamar to break ground at the resort's luxury $700 million beachfront property. The groundbreaking ceremony took place at the resort's location on Cable Beach on February 11th, 2026.
Families are built on stories. Businesses are built on stories. And oh, what a powerful story Bahama has become for the people of our country. There was a time when this property represented uncertainty, a time when cranes stood still and questions filled the air, a time when many Bahamians wondered whether this great promise would ever be fulfilled. But today, we stand in a different chapter. Today, Bahama stands as proof of what happens when belief meets perseverance. It stands as proof that the Bahamas can weather storms, solve problems, and move forward stronger than before. And now, with this groundbreaking, we turn the page once again. This more than $700 million investment is a major milestone for our country. It is a vote of confidence in the Bahamas. It is a signal to the world that our economy is steady, our tourism sector is growing, and our country is moving in the right direction. During construction alone, this development is expected to support over 1,000 jobs. The majority of those jobs will be filled by Bahamians, skilled tradesmen, electricians, carpenters, engineers, heavy-duty equipment operators, project managers, suppliers, drivers, small contractors. And when this new resort opens its doors, approximately 1,400 associates will have find opportunity right here. From hotel operations and culinary arts to wellness, events, guest services, technology, and management roles. These 1,400 jobs will add to the more than 5,300 Bahamians already employed by Bahama. That makes Bahama one of the largest private sector employers in our country. But the story does not end with direct employment. This development will generate economic activity across the entire value chain. Local suppliers, farmers, fishermen, transportation providers, logistic companies, small businesses that provide services, young entrepreneurs building careers in hospitality and technology. When we talk about national development, this is what it looks like. It is concrete. It is paychecks. It's contracts. It is training. It's upward mobility. This expansion strengthens our global competitiveness. It increases room inventory. It increases meeting spaces. It increases our ability to attract high-end travelers and international conferences. It positions the Bahamas to compete at the highest level in global tourism. We live in a world where destinations compete fiercely for visitors, for investments, for prestige events. Standing still is not an option. If we are to maintain our position as a premier tourism destination, we must keep investing, we must keep improving, we must keep raising standards. That is what today, again, represents. This expansion aligns with our broader national vision. We are modernizing infrastructure across our archipelago. We are investing in roads, airports, docks, and energy reform. We are strengthening security. We are expanding opportunities in education, training, and upskilling. Because tourism growth works best when it is supported by a strong national foundation.
Young men of the Simpson Penn Center for Boys graduated from the Garden of Resilience program after completing a Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Science Institute certified gardening course. The ceremony, an initiative supported by the government and community partners, took place at the center on February 11th, 2026.
I- I'm pleased to be able to join you in this brief ceremony to recognize the accomplishments of several of our residents, as well as the unwavering support the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting partners in this initiative. The local NGO, the Parenting and Crime Group, the Ministry of National Security, the Office of the Spouse, BAIC, the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Resources, BAMSI, and the Gang and Justice Task Force. Our team welcomed the opportunity to participate in sustainable programs that had the potential to further growth and greater impact on the lives of the residents of this facility. This Garden of Resilience is aptly named and will continue to stand as a thriving testament of what is possible when we truly seek to reform by fostering the environment that is disciplined, provides skills training in a critical area like food security, and strengthen relationship bonds through family involvement. To our partners, I say thank you. I also extend sincere thanks to the Superintendent of Simpson Penn, Mr. Basil Johnson, and his team for providing consistent support and guidance to our residents. In that same vein, I'd like to also acknowledge Ms. Bonnie Greenslade, the other half of Penn Pratt, who continue to do a great job on the other side, and I'd like to publicly thank them. The calls never stop coming, and it's never for them, it is always for their residents and those who they serve. And we know, Basil, I think this is my 5th time here. We were painting containers that end up in Germany, and there's always something going on. And PM, I have to pull in this plug. We got a little bill coming for you for some renovation work that was done to enhance the facility, and he takes pleasure. Both him and Greenslade, their position has always been they want to treat their boys and their girls to an environment as if they are back home. And so we may have stretched the budget a little bit, but the work that was done, I see the contractor is in here, goes a long way to making the environment much more comfortable. At least I wouldn't call you by name. We can truly say that transformation is taking place. To the graduates and other participants, the best chapters of your lives have yet to be written. Continue to strive for excellence.
And now it's time to take a look up north with our Northern Service.
This temporary shelter here at Pine Forest 8 Mile Rock is the realization of a vision started by former Minister the Honorable Obadiah Wilchcombe and nurtured by present Grand Bahama Minister the Honorable Ginger Moxie and by West Grand Bahama MP the Honorable Kingsley Smith, along with the Department of Social Services. Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles LaRoda, says the temporary shelter in 8 Mile Rock represents far more than just walls and a roof, but rather a place that symbolizes restoration, hope, and renewed purpose. He said it will create an opportunity to uplift minds, strengthen the spirit, and prepare individuals and families to move forward in dignity.
But today is indeed a wonderful day. It is particularly so for the Grand Bahama community, as it is a day that signals change, not only in structure, but in lives. I had the opportunity last year to take the public on a tour of this facility through ZNS's coverage, and today we are here again. Today, you will have the opportunity to see our model for the facility by viewing the showroom. The electricity is on, water is in place, televisions are mounted, and the remaining furnishings are the final step. In the weeks ahead, this 10-unit facility will be fully operational. And P.S., before we get ahead of ourselves, you know, the gate stopped there. This is but our first installment on this facility, because I believe Mr. Smith has shown his good faith and his ability, and that in the not too distant future that we'll be able to move further. This facility represents far more than just walls and roofs. It is a place that symbolizes restoration, hope, and renewed purpose. It is designed to sustain Bahamians, not merely by providing temporary shelter, but with accompanying programs. It will create an opportunity to uplift minds, strengthen the spirit, and prepare individuals and families to move forward in dignity. I will put this in layman's terms that a 6-year-old shall understand. That this place is to bring you from one point where you may be in need, but it don't just come with moving into shelter. It comes with programs that, if followed and executed, will allow you to move out and for us to help the next individuals. Our temporary shelter, I repeat, our temporary shelter is launched around a complete intervention model. What happens while individuals accommodate here matters just as much as where they go next. From the moment someone enters, there is intentional support, structured guidance, training referrals, and more. This means that no one should leave the same way they arrived. This is not a temporary shelter without direction. This is a process of rebuilding, of regaining footing, and of preparing for independence through a transition pathway that leads away from long-term dependency and move towards self-sufficiency.
Also bringing remarks during the opening ceremony was Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ygia Moxie, who said the opening of the shelter marked an important step forward for the people of West Grand Bahama and, by extension, Grand Bahama Island.
The opening of the Department of Social Services temporary shelter in the 8 Mile Rock community represents more than a physical structure. It means hope, it means dignity, and it demonstrates our administration's commitment to the Bahamian people to rescue the most vulnerable and discouraged in our society through targeted support programs, inclusive policies, and community engagement as outlined in our Blueprint for Change. This safe haven will have a direct impact on the lives of those who need it most. It will provide comfort and strengthen the Department of Social Services capacity to assist in times of unimaginable hardship, displacement, and crisis. I commend Minister LaRoda, the Department of Social Services, and everyone whose efforts made today a reality. And I also give a shout out to my friend George Smith, better known as Jimmy, of Seagrape. We're our neighbor in the Rocks. The Ministry for Grand Bahama supports you, and through our collab Partnerships for Development Unit, we are also doing our part to bring relief to persons struggling through difficult times. Together, we can advance the government's vision, where compassion guides policy.
This temporary shelter is one of many which the Department of Social Services is expected to complete to help those in Grand Bahama who just may be down on their luck. For Your Government in Action, I'm Andrew Coakley.
more of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. It's time to get growing with Agri Expo 2026. At a press conference held at One Montague on February 16, 2026, officials of the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources provided insight on the upcoming Agri Expo 2026 slated for April of this year.
Today we are pleased to announce an event that speaks to the very soul of our nation, Agri Expo 2026. This event is more than an exhibition. It is a national gathering that celebrates where we've come from, acknowledges where we are, and boldly points us to where we must go. Under the theme, Agriculture, Our Heritage, Our Future, this expo will take place April 10th through the 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. And it will bring together the best of Bahamian agriculture from across our archipelago. This year's event promises to be exciting with various demonstrations, lectures, and competitions, as well as scores of Bahamian food producers displaying the very best our islands have to offer. Agriculture has always been a cornerstone of our development. Long before modern supply chains and global markets, Bahamians relied on the land and sea for sustenance, trade, and community. That heritage still lives on today in our farmers who rise before dawn, in our artisans who transform raw material into value-added products, and in our young people who are continuously reimagining agriculture through innovation and technology. This expo is designed to honor that legacy whilst actively building the future. We aim to showcase food producers and artisans from throughout the Bahamas, highlighting locally grown, locally made, and locally inspired products. It will provide a platform for farmers, agro-processors, and creatives to connect directly with consumers, distributors, and investors, strengthening local markets, and most importantly, expanding economic opportunity.
A press conference was held on February 11, 2026 at Government House to announce the second annual Boys Retreat and Conference hosted by Governor General Her Excellency the Most Honorable Cynthia Pratt. The press conference highlighted details of the two-day event under the theme, Moving Forward.
Under the theme, Moving Forward, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia A. Pratt, Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, will host some 200 boys in our second annual Boys Retreat and Conference. This year's conference will be held during the school academic midterm break, February 19th and 20th. The conference itself will be held at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center, and the conference opening will be held here at Government House. This year's conference will attract young boys / young men from New Providence, Grand Bahama, and our family of islands. We have established 9 pillars this year's conference, and I should like to share our objectives, our goals, and what those pillars are. First of all, we seek to promote personal growth. We want our boys to set goals and to strive for excellence. Number 2, to explore identity and purpose. We seek to help our boys discover their passion and values. We believe each child was born with gifts and talents, and those gifts and talents must be harnessed and be made real. Thirdly, our conference seeks to build resilience, to teach our boys coping strategies and stress management for life's challenges. 4, we seek to promote and to foster positive relationships, to encourage respect, empathy, and strong bonds among peers and mentors. 5th, to empower leadership skills, to equip boys with confidence and skills to lead their communities. Our 6th pillar, to cultivate healthy habits, to promote physical, mental, and healthy wellness. 7th, to develop emotional intelligence, to teach our boys to recognize and manage their emotions. 8th, to encourage community service, to inspire our boys to give back and to make a positive impact in their communities. And our 9th pillar is to build a strong network, connect boys with positive role models and peers for ongoing support.
The Bahamas Protected Areas Fund hosted an awards ceremony recognizing 9 nonprofit organizations. The organizations were awarded grants for marine conservation efforts across the Bahamas. The award ceremony took place at the British Colonial Hotel on February 12, 2026.
As we celebrate the first awards under the Marine Conservation Program of the Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation, we are honored to have representatives from government, other partners, civil society, the conservation community, and of course, our grantees, our awardees today. I'd like to especially welcome Ms. Julia Brennan, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. And with us, of course, is Ms. Rochelle Lebeau, who is the Director of the Climate Change and Environmental Advisory Unit in the Office of the Prime Minister. I'd also like to welcome Ms. Shirley Gill, the country rep for the IDB. And there are numerous others, including 2 of my very own directors who are also leaders of their own organizations. Ms. Lakeisha Anderson, Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, and Marcia Mortimer, who is the country representative for the Northern Caribbean Program of the Nature Conservancy. And I think I'd be remiss if I don't recognize 2 other persons. Please give me a minute. Ms. Katharina Lambert, who was at one point on the BPAC board, and of course she's head of BRIEF, and then Ms. Kristen Anwala, who's the head of the Small Business and Sustainability, Small Islands and Sustainability Unit at the University of the Bahamas. Y'all should cheer me up for remembering all of that. But this is a moment, and I think I spied Dion Stewart of the Deaf Small Grants Program here with us. He is, of course, the national coordinator. But this is truly an outstanding moment, not only for the fund, but for the Bahamas. As many of you know, the Bahamas Debt Conversion Project is an historic development. $124 million in new funding over the next 15 years to support marine conservation, climate resilience, community engagement, and sustainable blue economy development. It is the first debt conversion project of its kind, but it's the first debt conversion project for the country as a whole, and represents a bold commitment to our oceans and coastal ecosystems. When BPAC was originally approached to support the debt, my board was very cautious, and rightly so. We were at that time a very small organization. I think Gail, my operations manager, would say, well, it's only 1.5 of us, meaning me and her, right? We were at that time very small, as I said. 1 year alone, we went through 3 capacity assessments in order to become ready for the support to this project. The good thing for us, though, from those assessments were all of them pointed to the one thing. I'm sorry, Indira Daxon is with us, Executive Director of Waterkeepers Bahamas as well. Thank you, Indira, for making the trip. Since then, we have grown 150%, and we are still growing. So anybody who's interested in joining us, see me over the next 2 days. It is this dedicated team of professionals, though, from our group, who have made this award ceremony possible today. And so it's my pleasure to ask each of them to just wave their hands so you can see them. Alexia Brown, Marine Conservation Program Manager. Shakara Lightburn, our Grants Manager. Gail Fox, our HR and Operations Manager. And Thomasina Roberts, who is not with us today because of some previous heavy traveling engagements that we had. We extend our heartfelt thanks to the board for its unwavering commitment. My board chair is here, Mr. Glenn Bannister, and you will be hearing from him a little later. And when it was not always clear, and when the flames are hot, sir, you and my board, you were there to strengthen the path and make achievements like today possible, so we thank you. We are proud to invest in the work of 9 dedicated Bahamian organizations. These grants were awarded through a very competitive process and represents months of careful review and evaluation by our team, by the project partners meeting, by the PMU of the Office of the Prime Minister, and of course the BPAF board. We want to acknowledge and congratulate all awardees for making it through to the finish line. You deserve a round of applause.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.